In this video, we're going to be talking about things that everyone who's been dumped should know. But first, before we go ahead and get into all of this, my name is Clay with modernlove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you want without having to play hard to get, without having to play mind games, without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not, because you, of course, deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And if you agree with me, please help me out with this YouTube channel by giving this video a thumbs up and by subscribing to this channel. I know I've been making this request to you for a while now, but it has been working. The YouTube channel has been growing pretty steadily over the past, several weeks, so please keep it up. Also, we are going to be talking about emotional healing from breakups and all that stuff. If that is something that you want some help with, we do have our course called Emotional Freedom. Check it out down below. If it seems like it's a good fit for you, feel free to sign up. If not, no worries. But I did want to make this video because I know that there are a lot of people out there hurting. I know there are a lot of people out there going through breakups, obviously, and a lot of people that just need a couple, reminders out there. And the first thing I want to remind you is that, once, like if you just had a breakup just, recently, a day, a week, whatever ago, or if it's still even just fresh and still emotionally stirring you up, even if it's been a little while ago, I want you to remind yourself to just sort of take a step back, stop, hit the pause button, and say like, okay, I just need to take a moment here and calm down, right? I know that there could be a lot of things going on in your mind. I know there can be a lot of impulses you might have to do all sorts of things. Again, I've been there. I've been on the receiving end of breakups that I didn't particularly want. And I've made a lot of mistakes from that. I've called a million times, I've begged, I've pleaded, I've tried to reason with her and all that sort of stuff. And it just didn't work out very well. Most people who have been going through their breakup for a while already know this instinctively. But if you're fresh off of a breakup and you don't know this, or if you're still kind of emotionally stirred up, just remind yourself, it's okay to take a brief pause. It's okay to take a deep breath. It's okay to just calm yourself down and get yourself in the right frame of mind before you start moving forward here. The next thing I want you to keep in mind is that as bad as things might seem right now, there's still a lot that can happen. I know that breakups can really seem final. I know that, your partner, they may have said, hey, this is it, we're done for good. Whatever. I don't know the circumstances of your breakup. I don't know if it was this big explosive argument that ended in a breakup. I don't know if it was something that's been building up for quite a while and, finally some sort of threshold was hit and you had, the we need to talk moment. But again, don't panic. That's the first thing. Don't panic. Just take a deep breath. And then also remind yourself that as tough as this might seem right now, like there's still a lot of room for things to happen. As definitive as this whole experience might seem, there's still a lot of room for a lot of things to happen, okay? So if you're feeling down, if you're feeling depressed, if there's a part of you that wants to save that relationship but you don't feel like you can, if there's a part of you that doesn't know if you want to save that relationship, if there's a part of you that's just heartbroken at having some sort of dream of a great relationship taken from you or whatever, just know that there's still a lot of things that can happen. We don't know how your path in this life is going to unfold, and there's still a lot of room for miracles, and something unexpected might come to you that either brings you and your partner back together or brings a new partner into your life. And you probably can't anticipate it or expect it, so don't try to. And when it comes to you, you'll probably be so grateful that it happened in exactly the way that it did, and you would have never wanted it to be any other way. I can promise you that. But the third thing I want to keep in mind, I want you to keep in mind, is that oftentimes in my experience dealing with people going through breakups is they have this sort of black or white kind of thought process when it comes to, can we work things out? Can we get back together? Is this going well? Am I going to be able to handle this or not? And I want to encourage you to not think about things in terms of black and white. I want to encourage you to think about things in rather shades of gray, because shades of gray are really, honestly, a more realistic view of the world. Plus, they're also going to help you make progress in a way that's more beneficial for you. Let's just take an example, okay? So again, when people want to get back together with their ex, you know, they look at whatever might be happening and they say, hey, are we going to get back together? Are we not going to get back together? Is this a sign that we're going to get back together? Is this a sign that they still love me? Or is this a sign that there's no hope, there's no chance, right? That's black and white thinking. But oftentimes, you know, if you were to get back together, there's going to have to be this process emotionally of learning to trust one another again, learning to open up to one another again, learning to build that emotional connection again. And oftentimes that can't happen in this black or white sort of thing. So, you know, oftentimes people who want to get back together with their ex, they feel like they need to deliver some sort of ultimatum. No, we can't ever be friends. Either we're going to get back together or it's nothing at all. But the problem is when you're on the receiving end of that message, it can be a lot of pressure to make a decision that maybe you're not emotionally equipped for yet. And so what happens is when you're under a lot of pressure and you don't know what decision to make, you generally just stand still. So they say, okay, I guess we're nothing at all. I guess we're going to stay broken up. But if you were to pull that level of expectation down and just say, hey, I know we have a complicated history. I know that we obviously were together and now we're not. And, you know, I don't know what the future holds, but I care about you. And I don't want to force anything that's not there. So let's just be friends for the time being, and let's just talk. Let's just keep in touch. Is that something you're open to? And that actually is generally received a lot better, and it also generally creates the context for actually building up a stronger emotional connection that person can then have the emotional foundation in place to say, you know what, yeah, we have been getting along a lot better recently. Maybe we should get back together. So start working in shades of gray as you start to move forward. And that's going to help you to feel a lot more calmer because you're not in this either or. Either everything's going to be amazing or it's going to be like unending suffering for all of eternity. But you're actually able to live in this gray area where it's like, okay, yeah, maybe this didn't turn out how I want, but you know, a lot of great things can happen from here. This can happen, and it can help you to soothe any anxious emotions that you feel and can help you to move forward with a lot more power, a lot more grace, and a lot more calmness and groundedness in your way of being, okay? The next thing to keep in mind, and this is important here, I want you to remember that there's nothing wrong with you, okay? Yes, you went through a breakup. Yes, whatever your relationship was, maybe it didn't work out. And there could be all sorts of reasons why it didn't work out. But it doesn't mean that you're like some sort of bad person. It doesn't mean that you're some sort of sinister person. And, you know, even if you did something that you regret, like cheating or something like that, yeah, sure, own it. Take responsibility for it. But don't let it become this sort of thing that weighs down on you. And you're like, oh my goodness, I screwed up. I cheated. How could I have done that? How could I be so stupid or anything like that? Give yourself a little bit of grace, give yourself a little bit of forgiveness, and just say, okay, sure, that wasn't the best thing to do. At the time, I was, I don't know, under a lot of stress. We weren't communicating very well. And for whatever reason, it just seemed like the best thing to do in the moment. Would I want to do that again? No, of course not. But can I forgive myself for that? Yeah, I can do that because I was doing the best that I could with what I had at the time. And that is going to allow you to not just kind of rub salt on your own wounds and cause even more hurt, more agitation. It's going to allow you to start to forgive yourself, start to be at peace with yourself, and start to allow yourself to move forward. So just remember, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not some sort of broken, flawed person or anything like that. You're just a human like all of us. Maybe you made mistakes. Maybe you did things that weren't the greatest. That's fine. We've all done things like that before in the past. The most important thing is to try to learn from it, try to learn how to move forward, try to learn how to be more at peace with your emotions, try to learn how you can have a great relationship, maybe a great dynamic moving forward, okay? And above all, I want you to remember to please never ever forget that you deserve to be loved. You deserve to be loved for who you are. You deserve to be loved for the great, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. There's nothing that you can do that could make you unworthy of love. So as harsh as you might be on yourself, just remember that you are inherently lovable. There's nothing you can do to change that. And as long as you remember that, you'll start making better decisions moving forward. So I hope this helps you out. Thank you so much for listening to this video, for watching this video. If you did find value in this video, please give that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. But if you do want to learn more about how to get through a breakup, we do have this breakup survival guide video playlist over here, or you might want to check out this video right here. Please take care, and I'll talk to you next time.